Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. Get your tinfoil hats and put them on because today's video is going to blow your mind. Today, I was researching a totally different topic. In fact, I was putting together a really fun video until I fell down this rabbit hole. This seems to happen a lot with Meghan and Harry. You're about to see what I'm talking about. About 3 months ago, I did a video pertaining to the very wealthy hotelier, John Fitzpatrick, and his relationship with Meghan Markle. Now, as we all know from Tom Bower's book, Revenge, it does mention that this relationship began around 2014 and also talked about his connections and friendships with Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. We're not going to be talking about him again today in this video. I just wanted to remind everybody that he was Meghan's connection into the Democratic political world. Well, if we think back to 2014, does anybody remember what was going on in the world at the time? For those that were distracted by pop culture and social media, we had the Ice Bucket Challenge that took over the summer and the gossip around Meghan and Rory McIlroy getting together. I think many have seemed to have forgotten that this crisis that we are seeing right now in the Ukraine area at this moment with the Rus started back in 2014. Let's all not forget that it was this woman who was Secretary of State at this time. And what was Meghan Markle doing aside from looking greasy on the red carpet? Meghan launches the TIG, and TIG life officially begins. Meghan also forces her way into the UN and is part of UN Women, and then also engaged in the military activities with the Department of Defense. With all this distraction of Meghan being on a show that no one's ever heard about and working on this website that nobody heard about until she met Prince Harry, Meghan Markle found the time to do a half-an-hour interview with the Kiev National University that is located in Ukraine. Keep in mind that this is still the year 2014. Let that sink in. In 2014, no one heard of Meghan Markle in Suits. In fact, Suits was not a nationwide popular show, maybe in Toronto, but not in the United States. Would anybody at this university in Ukraine know who the heck Meghan Markle was? Ask yourself that question. I'm going to bet maybe 90% of my audience today have not seen this Q&A interview. I think for the most part, a lot of you have been there over the last few years, seeing almost every piece of content and media that is out there about Meghan Markle.
My name is Pablo. I will be a host today. This will be a Q&A. I will ask questions. Students will ask questions. Yeah, we will be happy to hear your answers. Does it sound good to you?
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Okay.
Now, I apologize for the sound quality, but this is the only copy that's out there that I think somebody might have just taken with their phone. And it appears that it was taken inside an auditorium, hence the reason why we have this echo. Hopefully it's not too bad.
So let us congratulate you on the great first part of season 4 and renewal for season 5.
Thank you. But wouldn't be successful if you guys weren't watching it. So thank you. And yeah, we're really excited. They're now talking about doing 7 seasons, which would be pretty tremendous to have that many years on the show.
At first, I couldn't believe that people in Ukraine even heard of the show Suits, let alone Meghan Markle. But then, I sat and listened to what was being said, and I remained suspicious, and rightfully so.
I'm very happy that actually our meeting is taking place because we were scheduled twice, and now finally you can see us. So first time you were at some charity event in Dublin, is that right?
Not a charity event. I was speaking as a counselor on One Young World, which is a great organization that really has people ages 19 to 26 who are all working as leaders, really to affect change in whatever it may be, from human rights to economic issues to gender equality. So because I've been working with UN Women, they asked me to be a speaker there. There were only 25 speakers, which was pretty amazing to be part of that group. Kofi Annan was there, 4 presidents from Latin America, and Mary Robinson, the first female president of Ireland. It was really good. Boris Becker. I mean, it ran the gamut, and then somehow I was there. It was great. I was there for 4 days speaking, and then we were assigned delegates. There were 2,000 delegates from all over the world who were there just to be a part of these conversations and panels. So that's when I tried to do the first Skype with you guys. It was just a maddening week. So sorry it didn't work out, but I'm glad it's working now. And did you guys get my video?
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Everybody liked the video. Let's applaud to that as well. And can you hear people applauding? Can you hear people laughing? Can you hear that?
So for the first 10 to 12 minutes, Meghan goes on talking about her character, Rachel Zane, the dog and pony show that she was doing on the circuit, promoting the show and really talking about Rachel Zane and what she's about and the essence of her character. Like, we've heard it all before, all the things that she molded herself to take after this character. As we all know that Meghan doesn't really have an identity, and the way that she defines herself through character acquisition and copying others.
Okay, yeah, we have fashion. We're all about fashion in Ukraine.
All about professional too.
That season 4 was great, and your character there was just awesome. And
this guy's response tells me he really doesn't know too much about this show. This guy's description of Rachel Zane is very superficial, but allows Meghan to go into her explanation about the character.
And Rachel went through a lot, and through a lot of emotions, a lot of nerves. Did you like to play such Rachel? Did you like to play such role?
Of course. I mean, when we met her in the pilot, Rachel was so strong-willed and ambitious and really just had this depth of character. You might remember the first scene where she meets Mike Ross, where she's like, get it out of your way, I'm not interested. She just sort of writes him off as all the other guys. And I loved sort of that moxie that she had. And then we started to see in season 2, once she was falling in love with him, season 2 and season 3 were just such a tearful Rachel. I kept calling the creator and saying, where is her backbone? She was such a strong woman, happy, ambitious, independent of this guy. And I felt that was getting muddled. So in season 4, to see her sort of be able to juggle it all as if she could between work and school and the relationship, and not just be...
So you get the picture. And initially, if you watch this from the beginning, you would think that maybe this was something for the show Suits. One would think perhaps maybe USA was trying to get into other international markets and had Meghan speak to the youth at a university about the show. At this point, I'm still scratching my head as to why is she speaking to Ukraine university students. So the next question that this guy asks, pay attention to her response. She doesn't actually answer it.
What is your dream role?
What is my dream role?
Yeah.
It's interesting because I haven't really given that a lot of thought, which seems strange, but...
Meghan really dances around this question, and it's a simple, straightforward question, as like, if you're an actress and this is your profession, obviously you have thoughts on where you want to take your career, whether it be, becoming an A-list Oscar winner or someone who is behind the scenes doing producing. Like, this is your field. So for her to say, and like really struggle with it, and then now she goes into deflecting around the question into talking about the TIG, shows the lack of passion that she had for what she was doing. I mean, I guess she can't really say that I'm looking to marry a rich guy and I'm in the process of becoming Diana 2.0 so I can infiltrate the monarchy. I mean, that I don't think would have went over too well.
We have such a limited amount of time to do something outside of Suits. Really, I've been throwing myself into this website I had called The TIG, which has become really successful here. Which I'm really proud of. So it takes up more of my time than another project. I will say, I worked on a TV series called Fringe for about 2 months, and in that I got to do a lot of gun training and kicking down doors, and it'd be really fun to kind of do something badass like that.
Yeah, something tells me she was thinking about Angelina Jolie in this moment because she really needed to come up with something in order to not look completely vacuous. So Meghan confirms that this Q&A that she's doing is really in 2014, sometime after May. This is something that's very important to understand, and you'll see what I mean in a second.
Yeah, I launched it in May of this year, and I've been approached so many times about people wanting to sort of do a website with me, but it just didn't feel organic. And
surprisingly enough, when you Google this, Meghan Markle Kiev National University, only 2 results come back pointing to this Q&A. And you would think initially that this took place in 2015. Now, when you go to the actual video on YouTube and you look in the description box, it does give the date of it being either October 11th, 2014 or November 10th, 2014. I'm not sure if the numbers were inverted, but either way, this was done in 2014. And here is the reason why this matters.
I wish I could tell you more, but I get in trouble. So, in university, I double majored. I ended up switching out of my English major, and I double majored theater and international relations. So I love working in politics. Now, as I work with UN Women, it's sort of coming full circle. I'm really actively involved in a lot of their campaigns, but specifically right now, what I think will throw me back in the political specter is the fact that I'm really excited that Hillary Clinton will be running for president.
One more time, folks, let it sink in.
Throw me back in the political specter is the fact that I'm really excited that Hillary Clinton will be running for president. And I think that would be a really natural venue for me to become really actively involved in politics yet again.
So my question to all my wonderful subscribers is, how could Meghan announce that Hillary Clinton was running for president in 2014 when it wasn't officially announced until April 12th, 2015? Oh yeah, and P.S., it finally comes out towards the end of this Q&A how this session really came to be. Suits or USA Network does not appear to have any involvement in setting this up. Towards the end, when they finally get to asking questions, because that was the whole point of doing this woman gives Meghan away.
To the students, because they prepared their own questions. So who was the first to ask Meghan a question?
Hello, my name is Irina. I really want to thank you for getting in touch with us and actually making time for this conversation. Thank you for getting in touch with us and actually making time for this conversation.
Yes, folks. First Lady botherer, President botherer, Governor botherer, and Senator botherer Meghan set this up. And what's comical is that she's lying through her teeth in this Q&A by saying that, politics was a huge part of her life when she was living in Argentina. Well, she was only there for 5 weeks in an internship, but she goes on to tell them that she was working there. And what I don't understand is that there are quite a few interviews before she met Prince Harry telling the same story. What I can't wrap my head around is, why did her family allow her to continue with this lie? In 2015, when she did this speech at the UN about Procter & Gamble and writing this letter and getting the commercial changed, we know Thomas Markle Sr. saw it because she references her father in the speech and he talks about it. My question is, why didn't he correct Meghan at the time to tell her, in your speech, you shouldn't be lying like that, because if Procter & Gamble came out and said, no, that never happened, it'd be quite embarrassing. Also, Hillary Clinton was a part of this UN Women Summit. So with Meghan saying that she wrote a letter to Hillary Clinton and it's nowhere found in the National Archives, that leads me to believe that this narrative was created with the blessing of the various parties around. Her father, Hillary Clinton. Meghan wasn't telling these lies as a result of dating Prince Harry. She had been telling these lies for multiple years. So now when you connect all the dots here and put this in perspective, in 2014, we had something going on with Ukraine, clearly. All of a sudden, randomly, Meghan is doing a Q&A with a university in Kiev. I think the biggest indicator of Meghan having involvement with the Clintons is Meghan announcing Hillary running for president before even Hillary Clinton announces it. So perhaps maybe that's why this interview had been pretty much buried and practically erased. And let's also not forget the various resources that Meghan had access to that came from not only the Clintons, but also the Obamas. Oh, and let's not forget Meghan's bestie, former CIA Glow. Oh yeah, and then Harry's relationship with Renee DiResta, who had been tied to the CIA and is currently being sued for violating Americans' First Amendment rights.
Throwing me back in the political specter is the fact that I'm really excited that Hillary Clinton will be running for president, and I think that would be a really natural venue for me to become really actively involved in politics yet again. So, you know, it's a huge part of my life. It was really my formative years when I turned 21, working in Buenos Aires, and it was during their devaluation. So, yeah, I miss it, but what's great about being on the show is that it gives me a bit more of a profile so that now when I talk about things of that nature, more people listen, which is really cool.
If you were working in Argentina, that means that you maybe know some Espanol, no?
And another thing that I want to show you, and maybe it is coincidence, but these two ladies also share the same email behavior. And when I say behavior, it means when they reference themselves, they only go by their first initial. They both, from time to time, when they're talking about people that they don't want the masses to fully catch on to, also do the same thing by using just the first initial. It feels quite secret operative-ish, in my opinion. It's no secret that on the public domain, there is a site called WikiLeaks in which there are troves of emails that were leaked and is available currently to the public if you want to go digging around. And if you feel like it, just type in the UK rain word in there and have fun. I won't be covering or talking about any of that stuff because I'm in the same camp as Lady C. I too really love my neck and want to keep it intact. For our purposes here, I think that there's way more to this story than we know. And this video kind of sheds some light on, you know, Meghan's aspirations. Perhaps maybe she didn't want to say it in the video, that her next role was to move into the royal family and destroy it from within. This Q&A definitely was revealing because we get to see the psychology in how Meghan really thinks and how she manipulates people. Listen to what she says about how she gets her way.
Now, I want to ask you, have you ever used the knowledge from Suits, like the words, the legal terms, in your real life? Maybe you made it an advice on legal topic or something like that?
I would say one thing that's really interesting is when I have to have talks with my lawyer, there's something that's very specific about the posturing of lawyers, right? Like they have, even if they don't know what they're talking about, at least on our show, there's this bravado with which they say something. So if you say something with enough conviction, people believe you. It's a rule that I've taken away from Suits. So oftentimes I'll be on the call with my agent and my lawyer, and I will just say something with such assuredness that you hear this silence on the phone, and they sort of go, oh, okay. Now, meanwhile, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I say it with such confidence that they believe me. They go, okay, we'll get back to you. Okay, Meghan, thank you. Like, it just has a different quality about it. So I would say, you know, from an acting standpoint, what I've learned in these scenes is that if you just make direct eye contact and you say things with such conviction, oftentimes people believe you.
And that's it, folks. That's how she can lie through her teeth and keep a straight face, because she honestly believes that. Everything that Meghan has done so far is as if she is acting in a role in some kind of drama. Even though throughout this Q&A, Meghan continues to lie and say that she went to school for theater and international relations when she went to school for theater and international studies, completely different course tracks. Anyhow, she wants the audience to think she's somehow savvy in foreign relations and diplomacy, proceeds to then really give some insight on how she really thinks and how she's applied this one skill to what we have witnessed throughout the last 6 years.
You know, people often ask me, like, how do you study theater and international relations? Mm-hmm. They seem so different, but at the end of the day, they're both negotiating drama and politics.
There it is, negotiating drama and politics. That's exactly what Meghan has been doing.
One rule of thumb I was given, which I'd say for lawyers or actors or whatever, was don't give it 5 minutes if you're not going to give it 5 years. By that 5-year mark is when you can really see if it's going to work for you or not, but you have to commit to at least that.
Well, 5 years is up, and I guess it's not working out. So what's next? In closing this out, definitely let me know what you think about this. I'll leave the link to the full Q&A so you can watch it. I did cut out quite a bit. Oh, before I forget, if you like this content, please don't forget to hit the like button so this can reach more people. I truly appreciate it. But I'll keep digging, and you guys know I will be back with more content. As always, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later.
So yeah, quick fire round. First question, LA or Toronto?
LA.
LA, okay. Bolognese or carbonara?
Oh, carbonara.
Okay.
But I also make a really solid bolognese sauce.
Katy Perry or Lady Gaga?
Gabriel Ma.
No, come on.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, okay.
I would have done one more fitting.
Of course. Let me tell you, that dress was...
Kate won.
No.
It was such a fraud.